of women in film and television, and we're talking about diversity. And so this is hopefully going to be one of many events that we're going to be hopefully be putting on. And I was part of the organizing committee and helped try to organize some of the panelists who are talking today. And before then, we're having a networking event. We're having some live music. There's a harpist playing right now. There's other people who are part of the committee, and then of course, people, especially women who are involved in either film and TV.
So why is it important for more women to be making more films and, in the industry that you guys are talking about today?
I think when we have diverse perspectives, especially from women, and especially women of color, you get more ideas, more stories, and I think just women are an untapped resource and talent that's not been shown in TV or film. And I think the more we work to help to celebrate one another and also help guide each other, and so that we can become our best selves and our best filmmakers, our best directors, our best writers, more you'll see them more in the industry. So I think events like this kind of help lift that up a little bit.
I'm Nicole Sander. I'm the CEO of NICA Consolidated, and we run an organization that basically reaches nationwide for interpreting services, advocacy, sign language courses, and we focus primarily on theatrical productions, TV, film, that kind of thing. I'm here today to provide professional sign language interpreting services for one of the panelists that's involved. I'm a performing artist myself, have been for a very long time, but I also provide ASL interpreting services in theater quite often as well, from small little productions to big main stage productions. Our service is unique. We do provide interpreting services, but we also provide ASL instruction, ASL coaching, deaf consultants. We do vlogs in ASL as well. Theater and film and TV is not an accessible venue for many deaf people. It hasn't been for many years. So we've really been pushing the boundaries and trying to create not just accessibility but inclusion in the arts in Canada. And that's really been pioneering. A lot of pioneering work over the last 10 years, and more so even in the last 3 years with the establishment of Sound Off, Deaf National Theatre Festival, which happens during the Chinook series every February. And thanks to that, we're starting to get more and more recognition of the talent that we have within the deaf community and the fact that they should be, on the stage, in film, and a part of our regular world. So we've kind of got a niche where we've started opening doors, and now deaf artists are getting the recognition that they deserve in the roles that they should have.
So, Aretha, what kind of people are at this event today?
It's open to anyone who wants to come, but we've definitely invited a lot of women who are involved in film and television, and hopefully, just women in general, but also people who are just interested in supporting women as well.
Right. So, would you say that this event is suited for professionals who are in the industry or people who are up and coming?
I would think both, because there's a mentorship part and a networking part. So it's about people who are maybe even interested in industry and don't know where to start. And so this way you can get to know, listen to people, maybe talk to people, maybe meet people who learn about their stories. How did they get involved in the industry? And then maybe kind of test the water to see if that's something that you want to maybe get involved in.
It is wonderfully important all the time to gather people. As an Indigenous woman and someone who works within my culture but also works very contemporarily, it is important to gather the people. There are issues that happen across Canada, across Turtle Island, where we can deliberate about how far those issues have come when we're talking about things like cultural appropriation or talking about casting. The whole evolution of the dialogue changes so quickly that it's very important we have opportunities to gather and talk about those issues when they are current and happening.
And what would you say to up-and-coming Indigenous filmmakers? What would your advice be to them?
Persevere. do not give up. There, if I can use the old adage, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and sometimes the path that you think that you're going to take to get to where you're goaling towards might actually not be the path you take. You very likely will have a wonderful labyrinthine way towards what you want to do, myself included, very much so. So I'd say the biggest thing is to persevere, to make sure that you are headstrong, heart strong, and pace yourself. I know what you want.
And why is it important for Indigenous filmmakers to make films today?
Well, it's very important because specifically in Canada, we're dealing with the Truth and Reconciliation. We're dealing with a whole resurgence of knowledge, both of what happened historically in Canada to Indigenous people, but of what is currently happening. I believe very firmly that when Indigenous people practice art, and that's also contemporary art, filmmaking in specific, because it has such wide distribution, dissemination power, it's important that Aboriginal people practice art, because when we do, we are immediately redressing the human rights violations that we had experienced through colonialism, through the Indian Act, through the criminalization of our culture, through the capacity deprivation of knowledge, capacity deprivation of culture. We get opportunities to actually build relationships with one another, which kind of goes to what your former question was. So it's really important because we not only correct that injustice, we rebuild our culture, we rebuild our voices, we rebuild those honorable and very long-term relationships that we've had with other Indigenous people across the world. So just that.
No biggie.
No.